back to work in a safe and reputable way. But our businesses also have in the port, but also the families that have been affected by the lives that have been lost from this tragic incident have their
of the Department of Civil Engineering at the College of New Jersey, Andrew Bechtel. Andrew, this ship got 940. But understanding where this bridge is and understanding the traffic that goes through it, is there something that might have lessened the possibility that
from the ground up, new foundations and everything will take much longer than if there's some.
Rocket hurtles it into space. Boring does.
Bringing on astrophysics over.
Boring. Start up because it's smart, dependable, and steady. All words you want on your bank. Taking Chink has had one goal: to be brilliantly boring with your money, so you can be happily fulfilled with your life.
It was honestly one of the more relaxing days I've had in a long time.
Just 5 days. That's all it takes to develop a prescription
For with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Remember we only needed an fee for our video games?
Yep. Center of today's Supreme Court arguments on the abortion film, The Pristone, written in 8 abortions. Here's how it came up today. Well, anticipating that access to the drug could be restricted, some states began stockpiling it that restrict or criminalize abortions. And so I want to play a little bit of that.
As we get closer to the election, I think one party, the Republican Party, wants to use government to force down women's throats.
Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most common side effects were pain and swelling.
Money with Chase. Whoa, a lost card isn't keeping this thrill seeker down. Lost her card? Not the skin. Takes a
and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or
Looking for jackpots? Right this way.
Sure. And for this, there were many that were affected by this collapse, but affected. I'm going to get questions on fatalities and injuries, which I'm not collect is information on vessel operations, safety history, safety.
Being insufficiently rigorous and sponsored by anti-abortion groups that simply had an axe to grind against abortion. So I think that when the justices did reach the merits, there was very little that except perhaps Alito seemed to want to let any random doctor just walk into court and secure a nation.
In front of them. When should we expect there to be a ruling?
We should expect there to be a ruling probably by the end of June. Normally speaking, Katie, when we're
to show the appropriate nexus between the alleged offense and their alleged injury, and that the
federal conscience protections, they said directly the opposite in other court cases involving you're in the operating room, whether or not it's a miscarriage or an abortion. They're called the operating room. They are the doctor on call to go down to take care of these sorts of emergencies. Again, challenge it. That's a scary view of administrative law.
But again, I'm going to ask the same question. To not be a part of the procedure where this may be in question, the hospital would have to employ somebody else along with that person in order to perform that procedure. So there's a way for them to opt out of this that doesn't require a nationwide injunction on that you included in your brief. I know you were asked about them by a number of the justices. Can you just clear something up?
In this case, are conscience rights, but what it said it is something new.
Many of your clients actually performed any of those procedures against their will?
They performed them.
But they could have potentially been for miscarriages.
I don't think that's correct. The context of those was intervention for either bleeding or an ongoing pregnancy. That's not a small number of women.
State lines, which would open the door to abortion being illegal across the entire country.
Comstock Act. What the Comstock Act prohibits is mailing things if they're designed, intended, or adapted.
$99. But this is a limited time offer. Call now.
Some centers are backed with up to a 10-year limited warranty.
Moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. And the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding you're so ready for your infection, liver, or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or high vaccine or plan to. So TIC2 is a TIC2 inhibitor. TIC2 is called.
I have a question.